Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at Linq2Sql and learning how to use Linq2Sql's subselect and subqueries operation. We'll be doing this within the LinqPad tool. I'm doing it within LinqPad because I find it's easier to get immediate feedback rather than doing it in code. It's also a little easier to debug. You don't have to worry about stepping through your code or anything like that. It's exactly like using a query analyzing tool. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want to do is I just want to make sure I can connect to the database. And I'm going to go ahead and just select back episode ID and episode name. And sure enough, I can connect and I can get the two pieces of data I'm looking for. Now, what I'm looking to do is I'd like to be able to get a count of how many times each episode has been viewed as well as downloaded, as that information is being tracked within our system. So to go ahead and do that, I'm going to go ahead and create a placeholder for the column name. And then I'm going to do like what I would normally do within standard SQL. I'm going to do from, I'm going to call it TED in tracking episode downloads, where TED.episode ID, because I need to join to my episode, equals e.id. And then I'm just going to select TED.id, and I'll do a count. If I hit F5, I now have all my download counts. Well, that's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Now, if I need to get my view count, it's pretty much the same thing. The only difference is I need to change downloads to view. Hit F5, and now I have both my download count as well as my view count. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward, and if you actually look, the SQL that gets generated is pretty much what I would expect, which is standard select with nested subselects within the select, and then from. Now, what if I want to order this descending by episode number? I can do that by simply doing order by number, episode number descending. And if I hit F5, my select doesn't change much except for now it adds the order by, and if I go to my results, and now it's upside down. Well, that's pretty cool, pretty easy. Well, let's see, is there another way you can do that with Linq2Sql? Sure there is. Linq2Sql has more than one way you can accomplish most tasks, such as most languages and most environments. So I'm going to go ahead and do it in episodes. Select. We'll set up the same way we did before. Make sure we can connect to the database, and we can. Now, instead of using subselect within my basically my select statement, I'm going to do a little different. I'm going to use the let keyword, which is part of Linq2Sql's syntax, and let is a way you declare a variable with Linq2Sql. So I'm going to go ahead and call this download count, and then from here on out, it's pretty much the exact same thing. Where TED.episode ID, select TED.id, and do a count. And we'll copy and paste this because I need to do the view count as well. Now I want to go down here and I want to add that to my output, so I'll do download count, view count, and hit F5. Oh, one extra comma up there, didn't need that. And I didn't do equal equal, I did equals, so we'll go ahead and replace that. Man, I surely fat-fingered stuff this episode, didn't I? There you go. So now I have episode ID, episode name, download count, and view count. And if I want to order that, I can do that as well. So I'll do order by e.episode number, and I'll be descending. And hit F5, and now it's reversed. One thing I want to point out, though, is I was talking about the SQL that gets generated by doing it with this route. It looks to be like what I would expect. Now be careful when you're using the let keyword, because it's actually declaring variables in memory. it actually formats the select statement just a little bit different. So I have my select statement up here, that is my raw output, but then I have multiple subselects within the from statement. So it's just a matter of how you want to order, how you want to generate your SQL and how you want it to run. I'm not a SQL expert, but I would imagine that this one would be a little bit more better for performance, but I'm not 100% positive on that, so don't quote me on that. But I do know it's a lot easier to maintain, a lot easier to read than this select statement. But you do get the same results. They do run in roughly the same amount of time. If I look down here, this one ran in 4/10 of a second, and this one ran at 5/10 of a second. And I'm sorry, 5/100ths of a second and 4/100ths of a second. So performance-wise, not a whole lot difference. So there you go. I've shown you two different ways that you can do nested subselects within Linq2Sql. One of them doing the standard subselect within the select syntax, and one using the let keyword and creating a local variable. With one nice thing about doing with the let keyword, you can actually do multiple things with it. You can add, subtract, modify, delete, basically anything you want with that variable because it's an in-memory pointer to that result. So, anyways, hope you learned something today.